Causes of decline of the Mughal Empire. The Mughal Empire declined quickly after the passing of Aurangazeb. Exploiting. In 1739, Nadir Shah detained the Mughal Emperor and plundered Delhi. The strategies of Aurangazeb added to its decay. The powerless successors and dispiriting of the Mughal armed force were additionally the explanations behind the decline. The budgetary challenges because of non-stop wars prompted the decline too. The European settlements can also be said as a reason for the decline. Further, the attacks of Nadir Shah and Ahmad Shah Abdali debilitated the Mughal Empire. Here, we will be seeing what happened after the decline of the Mughal Empire. Causes of decline. 1. The nature and policies of Aurangazeb. Aurangazeb was once partially accountable for the downfall of the Mughal Empire. The suspicious nature of Aurangazeb, which did not allow both any of his sons or nobles to grow to be capable. His spiritual bigotry, which lost him the loyalty of the majority of his topics and resulted in the revolts of the Jats, the Satnamis and the Sikhs. The Rajput coverage, which resulted in a war against the states of Mewar and Marwar, and his Deccan coverage, which resulted in a long-drawn war towards the Marathas, introduced misfortune to the Mughal Empire. His policy sapped the economic and army resources of the empire, and the entire administration broke down. 2. The incapability of the later Mughals. The successors of Aurangzeb proved incapable and degenerate. That sealed the destiny of the empire. After Aurangzeb, no Mughal emperor rightly deserved to be an emperor. Most of them have been addicted to wine and women. Therefore, all proved nugatory rulers. No empire should exist below the rule of such rulers. It is rather shocking how the fragment of the empire persevered until 1857. 3. The corruption of the nobility. The Mughal blue blood followed in the footsteps of their licentious emperors. There was once a total absence of successful nobles throughout the rule of the later Mughals. Most of the nobles have been incapable, and if every one of them was once capable, he was now not loyal to the empire and carved out an unbiased kingdom for himself. That led to the breakup and degeneration of the empire. 4. Military weakness. The corporation of the Mughal military alongside feudal lines, the exercise of taking wives, concubines, and slave girls on the war field, and the failure of the emperors to improve armaments and struggle strategies weakened and demoralized the Mughal army. It no longer remained a positive battle force. Aurangzeb suffered on these counts when he fought in opposition to the Marathas. During the rule of the later Mughals, the prerequisites grew to become worse. No empire may want to exist in the absence of military strength. 5. Economic bankruptcy. The reign of Shah Jahan marked the opening of the deterioration of the economy of the empire. The revolts, the wars in the Deccan, and forget about the administration of the north during the reign of Aurangazeb, put an extra burden on the resources of the empire. Then finally, the licentious lifestyles of the later Mughals, breakdown of the administration, and the loot of Nadir Shah and Ahmad Shah Abdali broke the backbone of the financial system of the empire. It truly contributed to the downfall of the empire. 6. The wars of succession. In absence of a fixed rule of succession, the loss of life of every emperor led to a conflict of succession among the residing sons of the emperor. It resulted in the loss of existence and property, destruction of the administrative fabric of the empire, and the loss of status of the empire and the emperor. It additionally inspired effective nobles to assert their independence or take undue gain from succeeding emperors. 7. Group rivalry at the court. The weak point of the later Mughals led to treachery, treason, and group politics at the Mughal court. The nobles divided themselves mainly into rival businesses, viz. One group consisting of foreign Muslims and the difference that of Indian Muslims. Each of these companies tried to capture the strength of the kingdom for itself and, having failed to settle the affair amongst themselves, sought help from different powers. The Indian Muslims took the help of the Marathas whilst the overseas Muslims sought the help of Ahmad Shah Abdali, the ruler of Afghanistan. It resulted in repeated invasions of the Marathas and Ahmad Shah Abdali in Delhi, which led to the destruction of imperial power and dignity. 8. The attacks of the Marathas in the north. Peshwa Bazi Rao pursued the policy of conquering territories in the north. Gradually, the Marathas occupied giant territories in the north and grew to be the strongest energy in India. But the Marathas did not change Mughals and did no longer count on the responsibility of imperial power. Their things to do remained restricted both to plundering or increasing their sphere of influence. That sincerely adversely affected the fortunes of the Mughal Empire.